Calvin is a middle-aged construction worker. He's been working this hard job for over 20 years now. The pay isn't great compared to the hours of hot and extremely exhausting work, so getting by can be a struggle. He's getting older and his body isn't recovering the way it used to. His arms and back hurt longer each day after work. He always assumes he'll feel better in the morning, but he never does. The consequences of missing work are far too severe to even consider, so Calvin just endures. It's a constant battle, and every day life finds a new way to torment him. He is easily smarter and more experienced than more than half of his workmates. Yet Calvin bears the brunt of their jokes, harassment, and disrespect. They order him to do maniacal tasks that often have nothing to do with the job at hand. Calvin knows this is unfair, but he carries on. He's dedicated to his work. It all seems to be for nothing though, as one of his jealous, younger colleagues badmouthed him to his boss, telling lies and rumors. It ultimately led him to being fired just before the weekend for no legitimate reason. But if Calvin wanted to be remembered for anything, he would want his gravestone to read, "Loving father and husband." It is Friday night, and Calvin is home with his family. His wife Samantha works as a waitress to try and make ends meet. After dinner, Samantha sat at the dinner table surrounded by a pile of overdue bills. They were short for cash this month because their daughter Kayla had been sick and they'd spent a lot of money at the hospital. "It's not a big deal," Calvin says. "We've been in this situation before." Samantha replies, "But it's Kayla's birthday in 2 weeks, and we can't afford to buy a present for her." Come Saturday morning, Calvin had been up all night, trying to find a way to tell Samantha that he'd been fired. He is embarrassed and ashamed that he isn't able to support his family through no fault of his own. Samantha will forgive him, but Kayla is about to turn 5, and he wants her birthday to be extra special. It feels like just yesterday they were bringing her home from the hospital as a newborn. Now, Calvin doesn't even know if he'll be able to get the present she deserves. Every morning, Calvin pretends to leave for work at his old job, searching the towns for jobs or money he can save for Kayla. Eventually, Calvin told Samantha of the situation, and while she was upset, Samantha tried her best to make him feel better. Inside, Calvin knew that Kayla deserved a man to look up to, and he wanted to be that for her. Now, if there ever's a good thing about being unemployed, then it was Calvin's opportunity to stay home and play with Kayla. Kayla loved to have extra guests at her tea party, so she sat her father in a prime spot between her 2 favorite dolls. While Calvin was drinking his imaginary magic tea, an idea popped into his head. Kayla was happy in her world of make-believe, and her imagination mattered more than a present money could buy. So Calvin set out to collect cardboard boxes. They were discarded all over town and were generally in good condition. He collected big and small, tall and wide boxes, all in the name of creating an extra special surprise. When the day finally arrived, Calvin unveiled his surprise, and Kayla was speechless at the gift. A beautifully decorated cardboard kitchen made entirely out of old boxes. Samantha hugged Kayla and told her that her father had worked tirelessly for the past week to build her the ultimate kitchen. With tears in her eyes, Kayla took off her birthday tiara and placed it on her hero's head. And that hero is her father.